Ahead of the big clash in the Champions League, of course, Barcelona versus Liverpool, I'm gonna devote a little bit of my time into, I think, giving you my opinion on every Liverpool player, every single player that we could face in this upcoming Champions League tie. The reason for it is that I get people asking me, what do you think of the front three? Are you nervous? Because I am. Or are you scared of Van Dijk? Is Messi gonna make a fool of him? All of those questions, I'm gonna answer them in this video. I'm gonna be going out of my way to give my opinion on every single of them. Another thing to note down is that I won't be spending too much time on every single player. I'm just gonna go right to the point and then get out. And then I'm gonna be ranking every single one of them based on FIFA ratings. If you don't know how FIFA ratings work, well, they're out of 100, but normally you just tend to go around 20 overalls that you work with. And just to give you a sense of scale, Messi is like 94, Rakitic is 87, Dembele is 84, and someone like Carles Aleñá is 75. So yeah, if you're excited for this video, be sure to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. And this is something that I just want to try out because, like I said, we need to try out new things because football is running out. The season is ending. I just gotta give and try what I can. And one more thing before starting off this video, be sure to check out our friends at Golazo Jersey. Links are also gonna be in the description down below. They are a very good place to get cheap, reliable, quality footballing kits. So go there and get yours. Okay, so Alisson. I think Alisson is a very good goalkeeper. I think he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. After the recent blunders and stuff of De Gea, he has just been going down. Honestly, I just don't like De Gea that much. I think that the way that simply Alisson moves and just how he saves is more pleasant to the eye than what De Gea does. I'm perhaps more a classical type of person, but I do enjoy that. And yeah, I think it's a breath of fresh air for any Liverpool fan out there that they can finally have a goalkeeper which is solid. Currently, Alisson is rated 87. I think he's an 88. The next player that we have is Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think he's a very good right back, also one of the best in the Premier League. Maybe the best, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Premier League. That's someone of you have to tell me that. But I do believe that he needs to do a little bit more to be considered in that bracket of the best right backs in the world. I think he needs to do a little bit more to be considered similarly to Joshua Kimmich or even Kyle Walker, people like Dani Carvajal, and so on and so forth. Yet he still is very, very qualified to do all of those things. Very good in very set pieces. You've seen him score. I remember that goal he scored against Hoffenheim was absolutely outstanding in the Champions League last season. So overall, very good player, and I wouldn't be surprised if he can do damage to Barcelona with those very same things that I just mentioned. I'm gonna give Trent Alexander-Arnold an 81. The first center back is not Virgil van Dijk, it is Joel Matip. I think that Matip has been improving a little bit of late. I think he's reaching a moment right now with consistency next to Van Dijk where he can really excel as a defender. He's not anything special, but he's decent for Liverpool and he can add things to their squad. Perhaps Liverpool will still like to look for another partner for Van Dijk if they're not willing to wait or they think that he needs somebody else whenever Joe Gomez is injured. I think that Matip for now can do a job, but in the long run, I don't know if he will be the guy next to Van Dijk. I'm going to give Matip an 82. And now the big man, the big talk, Virgil van Dijk. I think right now, currently, I think he's the best defender in the world. I really have to give that much praise to this one player. If you take out Van Dijk off the Liverpool side, they fall and down, they crumble, they fall down like a house of cards. Honestly, that's how important Van Dijk is for Liverpool at this moment. He has been just one of the most essential pieces, probably with Alisson and someone like we're going to talk later on, that have been able to give Liverpool this chance to compete for the Premier League title. That's how important he has been. He has already won the PFA Player of the Year, and he's going to have a very big test against Lionel Messi. I think Lionel Messi can potentially drill past him. Lionel Messi can do absolutely everything, so I wouldn't put it past him. But overall, I think Van Dijk deserves a 91. Another left back for Liverpool is Andrew Robertson, and I think he's very, very good. Currently, right now, the second best left back in the world. I think he's going to face off against the best left back in Jordi Alba coming up probably tomorrow. So overall, yeah, consistent player, very good, high output, and that is what you want on a player like him. He never seems to break a sweat, and he's always constantly working for the side. I'm going to give Andrew Robertson an 84. And now finally the very first midfielder, and this is a funny story because I believe that Fabinho at one moment he was going to go to Barcelona. He's a very good transfer target for anyone who wants a world-class CDM. Okay, come on, world-class CDM. He's really that good. He's 24 years old, certainly reaching that level where he's starting to mature and has to grow into a position. And at Liverpool, I think he has found that. Jurgen Klopp certainly had taken a little bit of his time with him the very first 2 months, but after that, he just became solid, consistent. He still needs to improve in some areas, but overall still wonderful. Currently, he's rated 85, and I believe that's a little bit too much. I think 84 will be fine, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to give him 84. And now another CDM, well, if you want to consider him that is Jordan Henderson. I think that he's Mr. Consistent for Liverpool, and I'm saying this for a lot of Liverpool players, but that's a reality. Liverpool are very, very consistent, and we gotta give him praise for that. And Henderson can be one of the players that can be associated also with that kind of mentality in the squad. I think that playing before as a CDM, he didn't excel as much. He can certainly do the distribution and all of that, but playing a little bit more advanced, what he has been doing of late, playing against Southampton when he scored that final goal, he can do a lot more, I believe, and now is where the quality is starting to show. I think that he could be a little bit higher than what he is. I'm going to give Henderson an 84. Next up here on my list, it says that we need to go with Naby Keita, and I think that Naby Keita is very similarly to Fabinho in the sense that they didn't start off the season the best, but then became stronger as months came on, and certainly right now he could be very instrumental for Liverpool. The thing is that he's still not true untested, he's not a player that has been going one season constantly. At Leipzig, he was very, very good. He had amazing stats when it comes to ball progression, and that is something that every player should have. I mean, he was one of the best in the world doing that. He matches like Messi levels at one stage with Leipzig, and overall he has been having a different role at Liverpool, and he couldn't get into it. He was a 4-man midfielder. He's a 3-man midfield here, different, but I think he can get to his level, and Jurgen Klopp will get the best of him because he has come from Germany and all of that, so he knows how to make that happen. I'm gonna keep Keita at an 83. So, of course, you say, where are the other players? Well, they're going to be coming, don't worry. I'm going to talk about Müller and Wijnaldum. But first, let's talk about the front three. I think that Roberto Firmino is up next, and he is instrumental for Liverpool. And he will be the key, honestly, if Liverpool want to get an away goal against Barcelona. What he can do in defense is absolutely superb. The best in the world, honestly, at doing this. Tracking back and defending Firmino is absolutely incredible. He just becomes an extra man in the midfield and can pressure as hard as any of the midfielders. And it's just wonderful how dedicated and how willing he is. And you just gotta praise that. You just gotta absolutely praise it. You know how much in this channel I do like that. So I'm gonna give Roberto Firmino an 87. To the left of him, we got Sadio Mane. And Mane has been a player where I would say the last 2 years, I knew he was good. I knew he was good. So many people in English media and stuff like that and fans talk about, oh no, he's wonderful. But I really didn't see it. But this season that he has made that jump, scoring 20 goals, breaking how many goals he has scored before in those seasons, I can just see what a quality player he really, really is. And I'm going to give him an 88 because I only think he deserves it. He became instrumental almost as Salah to this side, so I think 88 is fair. So the next player has to be Salah, doesn't it? And I think that Salah is a very good, okay? He's a wonderful world-class player. He has also made that jump and now can be considered one of the best in the world. But I think he needs a little bit more. Similar to Mane, okay, I see him. He's a wonderful player, but he just has to do... I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think he's biased. I honestly have no idea, but I don't think he's like there at that level where I can say like, oh my god, Arjen Robben in his peak or stuff like that. I think that right now 26 is he. He was gonna get one more season or like 27, 28 where he's gonna do something wonderful, or he needs to just one moment for me, like one more thing. I don't know. Perhaps I'm asking a little bit too hard, scoring a goal in the Champions League final or whatever. He needs to do something like that. I'm going to keep him at an 89. He has that right now. I think he needs a little bit more to make 90. And honestly, probably just bias. I don't know. I honestly don't know why I cannot give him a higher rating. So we still got 9 players to go, so let's do this fast. We got Divock Origi. Divock Origi, I think, is very good. He can play in all front 3 positions. We can certainly add a lot of kind of like squad depth to Liverpool, and has been one instrumental when it comes to that. He has been very good when it comes to Liverpool to rotate and all of that, and he has served a purpose, So I'm going to give him a 78. And now we got a player which is very, very underrated and should be definitely in some people's like team of the season for the Premier League, and that is Wijnaldum. He's been working very, very hard, and he's actually going to start against Barcelona. I know it, because he works so damn hard. He's a box-to-box ultimately, and he can do defensive work like a CDM, but then can attack like, you know, a number 8. He can do absolutely everything. So I really enjoy this player, and I think he needs to be much high rated. I think that Wijnaldum honestly can be rated an 85. And some of you are going to kill me for the player that comes next, but I think James Milner, he's honestly superb. He really is. The work rates on this guy and just the commitment, very similar to Roberto Firmino, but just to play in every single position, like left back, right back, CDM, center midfield. He only needs to play a center back and like a striker or something like that. He is very good, and he right now is rated 81, and I don't understand how he's there. He's also gonna play against Barcelona. I know it because he's Jurgen Klopp's like trust untested. You know, he has played with him in the very difficult situations, and he will do it again. I think James Milner, honestly, he needs to make a jump from 81 all the way to 85. Okay, now we got Joe Gomez, and Joe Gomez, I think, very good player as well. Very young. I think he's a little bit under the level of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He plays in different positions as well. He can play as a right back, but mostly center back. I think that he can be a very good partner for Van Dijk, but I don't know whether he will make that jump this soon. So for the moment being, I'm going to give him an 80. The second choice goalkeeper for Liverpool is Simon Mignolet, and yeah, like, very similar to other players at this stage. They're very decent. They're not anything special. They do make mistakes, but what? He is 30 years old. He's not gonna get better. Just gonna leave him as a 78. And can we talk Alberto Moreno? Like, how in the world is this guy a target for Barcelona? I honestly do not understand. Like, what is up with him? He just fast. What? He's Spanish left back. He should never be near Barcelona when it comes to transfer targets. I honestly was gonna vomit when I heard this. He's awful. He's awful. He has been improving a little bit, but that's because the entire squad is better. But that's it. Like, he doesn't even get that much game time, so I don't see how he was ever gonna become a Barcelona backup left back. Like, no. I think he's 76 right now. I'm gonna give him 74. And now a player which, honestly, at some moments he was superb. That is Adam Lallana. He was at some moments very good. But now I think he's past it, 30 years old now. He cannot have longer the impact that he had before. And injuries hasn't been the best to him. So I'm going to keep him at 79, I think, for now. And the final player is Daniel Sturridge, and very similarly to all of the players, once again in this list, they serve a purpose. This is one thing that actually we gotta give praise to Liverpool, was that before they were their starters, you know, before Lallana and Sturridge were starters, and now they're backup players, and that's not where they should be, but it's decent to have them. That is something that, yeah, they got a good squad, you know. That's the best thing that I can say about them. And Sturridge right now, he's 79. Yeah, keep him at 79. He's good. So hopefully, guys, you have enjoyed. This is what I think of the Liverpool squad that we are going to be facing on Wednesday. It's going to be a very tough match and one of the closest. I cannot stress how close and tight this game is. Hopefully, Barcelona can get the win. You already know what I think about these players and what to look out for. So get ready, because we're going to have a ride.